Hey everyone, it's Melissa with the M Word. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kiddos. I have a 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old, and we are doing 2nd grade, preschool, and tot school. And this is a collaboration with Davine from Calm in the Chaos and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. I've done a bunch of collaborations with them in the past, and we are just going to be reflecting on our homeschool, like mid-year reflections, and see where we're at right now, how things are going, what if they were changing anything, etc., etc. So that playlist will be in the comment section below, as well as links to Davine and Shauna's channels. And basically, we're about halfway through our school year. I am farther along in some places and behind in other things, like always. So I think just before this or just after this video, I don't really know what order I recorded anything in or what I posted anymore. I did like a New Year reflection situation where I went through, maybe it was in my Plan With Me video. One of them I mentioned that I went through all of our school year stuff, and I determined, you know, how far ahead we are, how far behind we are in certain things, and what we needed to do to make sure we stayed on track by the end of the year. Language arts wise, we are behind where I wanted to be, but not really behind. I keep thinking that I can get her to grade level every single year, and she has always struggled with language arts. It's just one of those subjects she struggles with. It's she had gone to school early because of speech and things, and it's just, I mean, just one of those subjects I need to stop trying to push her ahead in and just acknowledge the fact that we're just going to be a little bit slower, which is fine. It's not like she's not capable of reading. She's more than capable of reading. So I really need to just stop trying to shove her through it faster, because it doesn't work. But we are going at quite a good pace at the moment. We're doing anywhere between 2 to 4 lessons a week in All About Reading, which I think is a decent amount. There is 53 lessons in All About Reading, so that's about 1.5 lessons a week. So she's doing a great job. If she stays at this pace, she will get caught up, which is where my brain always goes. If she stays at this pace, we will definitely get caught up. But every time something always seems to happen. All About Spelling, she is chugging right along. We just started lesson 10, and there's only 24 lessons, so I'm not too worried about that. Because if you do a typical 36-week school year, we have 18 weeks left, which leaves us with 14 lessons in All About Spelling, which I think is pretty good and on par with where she needs to be. We are doing All About Spelling 1 because I had used a different program for 1st grade. So, I mean, she's doing a great job at it. She's on lesson 11 in beta, and Matthew C has 30 lessons in it. So I think we're pretty on par there. We're ahead in math, and then I slowed her down a little bit by making her do all the Matthew C. I think I went through this once where I messed up math. I was having her do every single page in Matthew C because I was worried about her getting too far ahead. And I slowed her down in 1st grade because of that. And then I just made a mess. So it's fine. At this point, she is chugging right along. She is doing about 3 pages. She does the 1st page, she does a review page, and she does the test. And that's what she does for the week. And she's chugging right along with no problems. And I should have never slowed her down because it's my own fault. So she's got about 18 weeks of math left. That puts us 1 week over 36 weeks. Ooh, sorry. That puts us 1 week over 36 weeks, but we are technically year-round homeschoolers, so I'm not worried about it. We'll just finish it, and we'll finish it. We're in Unit 7 of History Quest. We're in Unit 9 of Book Shark. We are, now know that in History and Book Shark, we tend to pause those if we're doing a unit study or really in depth in a unit study. So we did miss out on right around 8 weeks of schooling for history and Bookshark for our science there, because we paused everything in December while we were doing our Christmas unit. And the month that I had broke my arm, we paused everything because I was a mess. So, but I'm not too worried about it because we did start school a month early, and we'll just catch up. It's really not a problem. We only school 3 days a week sometimes, and the other 2 days a week I reserve for working and for fun stuff. So sometimes I just add in extra stuff just to keep us moving. My daughter has drawn on it, but hopefully you can still see it. This is my original plan for our unit studies. As you can see, I did the human body. We did the 9/11 study. We did the animal kingdom study, the Halloween study. I did skip the election unit study that I was going to do. I wanted to still do something even though it wasn't a presidential election year. But then I decided that I wanted to do our Thanksgiving unit more. So we skipped it and started Thanksgiving early. We did Thanksgiving. We did our Christmas unit. And apparently I wrote Christmas Man instead of Christmas. I don't know why. Then we had the Dino unit. We are currently doing the Dino unit now. I have it scheduled that we'll be done with that February 3rd for a Valentine's Day unit, a Pokemon unit, St. Patrick's Day unit, Space, Mother's Day, Garden unit, July 4th, and an Ocean unit. However, I have since updated that. I think you saw that in my plan with me. So we will just stop for 1 day for Valentine's Day instead of doing a week-long situation. And we're gonna stop 1 day for Pokemon Day because my daughter is obsessed with Pokemon. And we will continue on with our paleontology dinosaur unit all the way through February. And then our paleontology unit will coincide with a St. Patty's Day unit right here. And we'll do them both together on this week. And then of course, this is St. Patty's Day, and that will be a St. Patty's Day like party situation for homeschool. So we will not do probably any actual schooling, but we'll do lots of fun stuff that day. And then of course, I get weird at St. Patty's Day. We do a different type of St. Patty's Day food every single month or every single day. And it's just lots of fun for the kids. So, and then we'll start on the 20th, our space unit. So we'll run our space unit. I'll run longer than I had planned to run that as well. That will run all the way through that half past of March and all of April. We'll coincide here with an Earth Day where I will add in Earth Day stuff as well. There's a few days of no school that I have planned out in April around Easter. And then again around my daughter's birthday, my youngest daughter's birthday. Then of course, we're gonna continue on with our space unit all the way through May. Now our schooling will end through here, like our actual school, math, history, all that kind of stuff will start to drop off in May. We will do a day of Mother's Day crafts. We'll have no school on Memorial Day. And then I will pick up a garden unit that we're gonna start at the very end of May. So now this is kind of where our homeschooling year round falls in. I like to have our core curriculum finished in the normal school year, I guess, like a normal public school year. However, we also still do a ton of things through the year, and I usually still count it towards our homeschool hours, because in the state of Wisconsin, we have to track our hours versus just our days. So we have the garden unit will run through here. I will make sure we do no school on those 3 days for sure, or these 2 days for sure, and Father's Day crafts on that day. Now, the ones that are through the school, the summer, they're very ebb and flow. Like if we decide to go camping this week, we won't do school, and I will just not worry about it. And we'll pick up the garden unit on the next when we get back. And then July, we almost always go camping this week, so I went ahead and blocked it off. But there's no guarantee that we will. Sometimes we go before, sometimes we go after, sometimes we don't go at all. So it just depends. And then we're still just doing the garden unit. We are expanding our garden threefold this year. So my normal size garden is getting 3 times as big for this coming year. And my guess is we will be spending a lot of time putting that together and planting that and dealing with that, because it'll be a lot of work being that much bigger. Then in August is usually when we start school. So, I mean, I'll leave that just as is. This is just here. That's that. I'm sure we'll go over that when I start talking about the new year. I semi-planned all the way through December when I did it. But I think reflection-wise, I think we're doing pretty decent. I always feel like we're behind, which I feel like is just something that almost every homeschooling mother feels or homeschooling parent feels. I just feel like it's just, we will always feel behind. Even if we're ahead in our curriculum, we'll feel like we're behind with what we should be teaching our kids. I think it's just something it's just how we're wired, I guess. It's how I'm wired, apparently. I just constantly feel like I'm behind. Like I was going through thinking that we didn't read anywhere near enough books yet this year. And I mean, we have 2 pages worth of books, not to mention the ones I didn't think to mark down that we read as well. So, I mean, I shouldn't be worried about it. I mean, we're doing okay. We're chugging right along in our dinosaur unit. This is the hair and books unit. And then we also have the paleontology unit from The Good and the Beautiful. And I did have a whole thing on that because we are secular homeschoolers, but I did use that unit. And so far I haven't had any problems with it. So hopefully it'll stay that way. My son, preschool-wise, we pull out one of these sheets anytime he needs something to do and write on. And this is the ABC writing lessons. I think that technically comes in the pre-K unit. I'm not sure. And then my daughter, my top schooler, she's been using this one. My son uses this one sometimes too. Now, I don't expect my 1-year-old to be forming letters, but she likes to join us for school, and this is her way of joining us in school. And then my son loves this Lex Cut paper. He is on 30 of that already. He just enjoys this nonstop. I feel like I'm forgetting something, and if I am, I'm sorry. I definitely feel like I'm forgetting to mention something though. But that's kind of where we're at mid-school reflection-wise. I think we're doing okay. I feel like we're behind. I don't know if we actually are though, is the issue. Like when I look at it, it doesn't seem like we are, but I feel like we're behind. But I also know that there's no such thing as behind because we're homeschoolers, and there's also no such thing as behind because we're year-round homeschool, and I have until August to get it figured out. So I really shouldn't be worried about it. If you guys haven't seen Davine or Shauna's channels, please check them in the description box below. Again, there is a playlist for this with all of us homeschooling moms going ahead and going through our mid-year school year reflections, kind of where we're at, how we're feeling, all of that. And go ahead and leave me in the comment section below how you guys are feeling. Are you on track too? Do you feel behind like I do? Like, where are we all at? And I will talk to you guys next time.